Ever wondered why your body feels different each morning? Why the same meals no longer feel the same? You're not alone. We is here to guide you, helping you understand your body, care for your health, and find peace every day. Let's begin this small journey today for a healthier tomorrow. For many older adults, rice is comfort food. It's soft, warm, and gentle on the stomach. You might think, it's light. It doesn't upset my digestion. I can eat as much as I want. But while rice may feel harmless, eating large quantities, especially white rice, can actually increase your risk of serious health problems, including type 2 diabetes, muscle weakness, and fatigue. In this article, we'll take a deep look at why this common belief is misleading, how rice affects blood sugar, and what practical steps seniors can take to eat smarter without giving up what they love. 1. Why seniors prefer rice. As we age, our digestive systems naturally slow down. Many seniors experience reduced appetite, tooth loss or difficulty chewing, slower gastric emptying, acid reflux or sensitivity to rich foods. Given these issues, rice feels like the perfect food. It's easy to chew, mild in flavor, and rarely causes stomach upset. It's no surprise that many older adults consume rice at every meal, often in large amounts. 2. The truth about white rice and blood sugar. Although rice seems light, white rice is a refined carbohydrate. That means it has been stripped of most of its fiber, vitamins, and minerals during processing. What's left is mostly simple starch, which the body quickly breaks down into glucose, the sugar that fuels your cells. The problem? This rapid digestion causes your blood sugar to spike. Your pancreas responds by releasing insulin to manage the glucose. But over time, especially with age or if you're overweight, your body can become less sensitive to insulin, leading to insulin resistance, prediabetes, and eventually type 2 diabetes. A study published in the British Medical Journal found that people who regularly consumed large amounts of white rice had a significantly higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes, especially in Asian populations. 3. How excess rice affects seniors differently. Seniors are more vulnerable to blood sugar issues for several reasons. Muscle mass decreases with age, reducing glucose uptake. Metabolism slows, so extra glucose is more likely to turn into fat. Physical activity is often lower, so blood sugar isn't burned off through exercise. Age-related changes in insulin production and response make it harder to stabilize blood sugar. When seniors eat large portions of white rice, without balancing it with fiber or protein, blood sugar surges. Over time, these spikes damage blood vessels, nerves, and organs. That's why uncontrolled diabetes is linked to vision loss, kidney damage, heart disease, neuropathy, numbness or pain in the feet, poor wound healing. 4. Rice overeating and muscle loss. What many don't realize is that eating mostly rice without enough protein can also lead to muscle wasting, especially in seniors. Muscles require amino acids to maintain strength and mass. If the diet lacks protein, and rice is the main calorie source, the body will struggle to repair or preserve muscle. This contributes to weak legs and difficulty walking, higher risk of falls and fractures, reduced independence and mobility. 5. Why you might not notice the damage immediately. Rice doesn't cause immediate pain or discomfort. That's why it's easy to overlook. But the damage is cumulative and silent, happening day by day, meal by meal. You might start feeling sluggish after meals, increased thirst, frequent urination, cravings for sweets or naps after lunch. These are early warning signs of blood sugar instability. 6. So what should you do? You don't have to eliminate rice, but you do need to manage it wisely. Reduce portion sizes. Instead of a full bowl, try half a cup to 1 cup cooked rice per meal, depending on your activity level and overall diet. B. Balance your plate. Never eat rice alone. Pair it with leafy greens or other high-fiber vegetables. Lean protein, tofu, chicken, fish, eggs, or legumes. Healthy fats, avocado, olive oil, sesame seeds. These additions help slow down the absorption of glucose, preventing blood sugar spikes. C. Choose better rice options. Brown rice retains fiber and nutrients. Red or black rice contains antioxidants. Mixed grains, e.g. barley, millet, quinoa, offer a variety of textures and health benefits. D. Avoid eating rice multiple times a day. Try to have rice once per day and explore other carbohydrate sources like sweet potato, quinoa, or oats. 7. Practical meal ideas. Lunch, half a cup brown rice plus stir-fried greens plus grilled tofu. Dinner, vegetable soup plus steamed fish plus small bowl of rice. Breakfast, savory oatmeal with egg and spinach instead of rice porridge. 8. A word on rice porridge, kanji. Many seniors prefer porridge when sick or weak. While gentle on the stomach, it causes faster blood sugar spikes than plain rice. It also lacks protein. Solution: add protein and fiber to your kanji. Egg, lean minced meat, pumpkin, spinach, or lentils, and keep portions moderate. 9. What if you can't give up rice? That's okay. Food is also emotional and cultural. You don't need to give up rice, but you do need to eat it intentionally. Be mindful of portion sizes. Combine with nutrient-dense foods. Try alternatives gradually, e.g. 25% brown rice mixed with white, then 50%. Conclusion: rice may feel light, but when eaten in large amounts, it becomes a heavy burden on your blood sugar, muscles, and long-term health. By changing the way you think about rice, shifting from eat as much as I want to enjoy in moderation with balance, you protect your body while keeping the foods you love. Small steps matter. 1 cup less today can mean 1 stronger step tomorrow. Next, taking about topic: rice is better than bread or noodles. A misconception that could harm seniors' health. Introduction. For generations, rice has been a symbol of health and longevity. In many cultures, especially in Asia, it's the centerpiece of every meal. And for older adults, it often feels like the safest choice among carbohydrates. You may have even heard or thought to yourself, at least I'm not eating bread or noodles. Rice is better. But is rice really better? In this article, we'll break down the truth behind this belief. We'll explore how rice compares to other starches, what it does to your blood sugar, and why moderation, not substitution, is the key to protecting your health, especially as you age. Why this belief exists. The idea that rice is better than bread or noodles comes from a few understandable reasons. Rice is seen as natural, while bread and noodles are often processed. Many people associate bread with Western fast food and poor eating habits. Rice has been a staple in traditional diets that were once healthier. It's easy to digest and considered light on the stomach. While these points are not entirely wrong, they also oversimplify a much more complex nutritional reality. Understanding carbohydrates, what they do in your body. All 3, rice, bread, and noodles, belong to the starch family. These are carbohydrate-rich foods that your body converts into glucose, or sugar, for energy. For young, healthy, and active individuals, these foods provide quick energy. But for seniors, especially those who are sedentary or have slower metabolism, excess glucose becomes a problem. The key measurement here is the glycemic index, GI, a number that tells us how fast a carbohydrate food raises blood sugar. The higher the GI, the faster and more dramatically it spikes glucose in your bloodstream. Here are average GI scores. White rice, 72 to 89. White bread, 75. Instant noodles, 57-70. Whole wheat bread, 65. Brown rice, 50-60. As you can see, white rice is not much better than white bread, and is often worse depending on how it's cooked and consumed. Why it matters for seniors. As we age, our ability to regulate blood sugar declines. This is due to decreased insulin sensitivity, lower muscle mass, which helps use up sugar, slower metabolism, less physical activity. When you regularly eat high GI foods like white rice, your body gets repeated blood sugar spikes, followed by crashes. Over time, this can lead to insulin resistance, prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, fatigue and brain fog, increased belly fat, greater risk of heart disease. So while rice may feel safe or lighter, it can be just as harmful as the foods many seniors are trying to avoid. But isn't bread more processed? Yes, and this is where context matters. Many supermarket breads are loaded with added sugar, preservatives, hydrogenated oils. That said, there are also healthier breads like 100% whole wheat or whole grain bread, sourdough bread, lower GI, sprouted grain bread. The same goes for noodles. While instant noodles are often unhealthy, soba, whole grain spaghetti, or mung bean noodles offer more fiber, protein, and slower sugar release than plain white rice. So instead of seeing rice as better by default, think in terms of nutritional quality. What happens when you eat too much rice? Let's say you eat rice 2 to 3 times a day. Each time it's a large bowl, often the largest portion of your meal. If you're not balancing this with protein, vegetables, and healthy fats, your body reacts in several ways. Blood sugar surges. Especially if the rice is white, fluffy, and eaten alone, it quickly enters your bloodstream as glucose. Fat storage increases. Excess glucose is stored as fat, often around the abdomen. Muscle mass declines. Without adequate protein, your muscles slowly weaken, leading to fatigue and fall risk. Energy levels crash. You may feel alert right after the meal, then sluggish, sleepy, or irritable within 1 to 2 hours. Increased risk of diabetes. Consistently high sugar levels force your pancreas to work harder, eventually wearing it out. Comparing carbs, better versus worse. Here's a breakdown of how rice, bread, and noodles stack up when chosen wisely. Food: good choices, poor choices. Rice: brown rice, red rice, black rice, mixed grains, white jasmine rice, sticky rice. Bread: whole wheat, sprouted grain, sourdough, white bread, sweet buns. Noodles: soba, brown rice noodles, shirataki, instant ramen, white flour pasta. The takeaway: none of these foods are bad if chosen correctly and eaten in moderation. The problem is in excess, lack of variety, and imbalance. So, should seniors avoid rice? Not at all. Rice can still be part of a healthy senior diet. The key is to reduce portion size. Aim for 1/2 to 1 cup per meal. Mix with fiber-rich ingredients. Add leafy greens, carrots, or cabbage. Include protein. Eggs, fish, tofu, or legumes are excellent options. Use healthy fats. A teaspoon of olive or sesame oil can slow sugar absorption. Switch up your grains. Try oats, sweet potatoes, millet, quinoa, or barley. Avoid eating rice alone. Rice plus soy sauce is not equal to a complete meal. Sample balanced plate for seniors. Instead of a large bowl of white rice with soy sauce and pickles, try 1/2 cup brown rice, 1 cup steamed vegetables, bok choy, carrots, mushrooms, 1 boiled egg or grilled tofu, a few slices of avocado, herbal tea or water with lemon. This small shift can significantly improve blood sugar control, energy levels, and muscle health. Final thoughts. The idea that rice is better than bread or noodles is outdated and misleading. In reality, all carbs must be chosen and eaten with care, especially for seniors. It's not about which is better, but how you prepare it, what you pair it with, and how much you eat. Rice can absolutely be part of a long, healthy life, but only if it's balanced, nutrient-rich, and not the star of every meal. So next time you reach for that second bowl of white rice, ask yourself, what can I add to make this meal better for my body? That question, asked consistently, can change your health story for the better. Next, taking about topic I skip other foods and just eat rice with soy sauce or pickles. A dangerous habit in disguise. Introduction. In the quiet simplicity of aging, many older adults fall into food routines that feel easy and comforting. One common example, a simple bowl of rice, flavored with soy sauce or eaten with pickled vegetables. It's fast, it's familiar, and it feels light on the stomach. But here's the hidden danger. This habit, while convenient, can gradually damage your health. If you're a senior or caring for one, and you often hear, "I just had some rice with soy sauce, I'm not hungry," this article is for you. We're going to explore why this minimalist meal is nutritionally incomplete, how it impacts blood sugar, muscle strength, and overall aging, and what you can do to improve it without giving up its comfort and ease. Why this eating pattern is so common among seniors. There are several understandable reasons why seniors may default to eating rice with only soy sauce or pickles. Loss of appetite due to age or medication. Difficulty chewing or swallowing more complex meals. Living alone with limited motivation to cook. Financial concerns or lack of access to fresh ingredients. A desire to avoid waste or cook quickly. The result is a meal that may fill the stomach but leaves the body lacking in essential nutrients. The problem with rice alone. White rice provides mainly carbohydrates. It lacks protein, which is needed to maintain muscle and immune strength. Fiber, which supports digestion and stabilizes blood sugar. Healthy fats, which help absorb vitamins and support brain health. Vitamins and minerals, especially B vitamins, iron, magnesium, and zinc. When eaten alone, or with salty condiments, rice becomes a high glycemic, low nutrition meal. Over time, this pattern can lead to unstable blood sugar, risk of diabetes or poor diabetes control, muscle loss, leading to weakness and falls, low energy and fatigue, weakened immunity, slower wound healing and poor recovery from illness. The sodium trap, soy sauce and pickles. Soy sauce and pickled vegetables are popular additions to plain rice because they're flavorful and require no cooking. But they're also very high in sodium. Let's take a look. 1 tablespoon of soy sauce equals up to 1,000 milligrams of sodium. 1 serving of pickled mustard greens equals 600 to 900 milligrams sodium. Recommended daily limit for adults equals 1,500 to 2,300 milligrams sodium. When sodium intake is too high, it increases the risk of high blood pressure, kidney damage, fluid retention and swelling, heart disease and stroke. Seniors are especially sensitive to sodium's effects, especially if they already take medications for hypertension or heart conditions. No protein equals weak muscles, weaker legs. Protein is the most underestimated nutrient in senior health. After age 60, the body naturally loses 1 to 2% of muscle mass per year, a condition known as sarcopenia. Without enough protein, this loss speeds up, leading to difficulty walking or standing, increased fall risk, loss of independence. When a meal includes only rice, there's almost no protein to support muscle maintenance. Over time, this contributes to frailty and reduced quality of life. But I feel full. Why satiety can be misleading. Rice fills the stomach quickly because it absorbs water and swells. But this fullness is temporary. The body burns through rice quickly, leading to a blood sugar spike followed by a crash. Feelings of tiredness, irritability, or sleepiness. Cravings later in the day. This cycle often leads to overeating at night, which worsens blood sugar control and contributes to weight gain around the belly. Especially dangerous for seniors. The nutrient deficiency risk. Relying on plain rice with salty sides long-term can cause deficiencies in vitamin B12, leading to fatigue, confusion, and nerve problems. Iron increasing the risk of anemia. Zinc weakening immunity and wound healing. Magnesium raising the risk of muscle cramps and heart issues. These deficiencies don't show up overnight, but over months and years, they quietly erode your health. Simple solutions to improve your plate. You don't have to give up rice or start cooking complicated meals. Here are small, practical ways to make a rice-based meal more balanced. 1. Add protein. Even just 1 boiled egg, half a cup of tofu, or a slice of grilled fish can make a difference. 2. Include vegetables. Steamed greens, carrots, mushrooms, or pumpkin can add fiber and vitamins. 3. Swap or dilute soy sauce. Use low-sodium soy sauce. Mix soy sauce with water, lemon juice, or vinegar for flavor. Try herbs, spices, or garlic as salt-free seasoning. 4. Use rice plus combinations. Rice with mung beans, lentils, or red beans boosts protein and fiber. Mix in quinoa, millet, or barley for texture and minerals. 5. Batch cook nutritious sides. On good days, prepare and refrigerate. Steamed vegetables, hard-boiled eggs, stir-fried tofu. These can be added quickly to rice meals later in the week. A balanced example. Instead of 1 bowl of white rice, soy sauce and pickled mustard greens, try this: 3/4 cup cooked brown rice, 1 hard-boiled egg, sliced, half a cup steamed broccoli or bok choy, dash of low-sodium soy sauce plus sesame oil, herbal tea or warm water. This takes only 5 minutes to prepare and provides protein for muscles, fiber for digestion, lower sodium, more sustained energy when appetite is low. If you or a loved one struggles with appetite, use small portions of high-nutrient foods, e.g., a spoonful of peanut butter, a cube of cheese. Try soft textures: mashed beans, scrambled eggs, congee with minced meat. Add a flavorful topping like avocado, lemon juice, or ginger. Eating small, frequent meals is better than relying on a single rice-based dish. Closing thoughts. Rice with soy sauce or pickles may seem harmless, but it's far from a complete meal. Over time, this simple habit can lead to malnutrition, high blood pressure, muscle loss, and weakened immunity. But with just a few small adjustments, a protein here, a vegetable there, a reduction in sodium, you can preserve the comfort of your rice-based meals while turning them into powerful tools for health. A strong, energized body in later life doesn't come from eating more. It comes from eating smarter. Next, taking about topic: brown rice is hard to chew, so I'll stick to white rice. Why giving up too soon may harm your health. Introduction. As we grow older, eating habits tend to become simpler. Many seniors choose familiar, easy-to-digest foods, like white rice. It's soft, mild, and comfortable. In contrast, brown rice is often rejected because it feels tougher, chewier, and harder to cook. A common thought is, brown rice is good for health, but my teeth aren't strong anymore. I'll just stick with white rice. But is this the best long-term decision? In this article, we'll explore the reasons why brown rice matters, especially for seniors, and how to make it easier to enjoy. You'll learn how giving up on whole grains too soon may lead to nutrient deficiencies, blood sugar problems, and weaken muscles and bones. And most importantly, you'll learn how to make brown rice more accessible without sacrificing comfort. Why whole grains matter more with age. Brown rice is a whole grain, meaning it still has the bran, outer layer rich in fiber and antioxidants, the germ, nutrient-dense center, with B vitamins and healthy fats, the endosperm, mainly carbohydrates. White rice, on the other hand, is refined. Its bran and germ are removed, leaving mostly starch. Whole grains like brown rice are linked to better blood sugar control, improved heart health, lower risk of stroke and type 2 diabetes, healthier digestion, longer lifespan. For seniors, these benefits are even more critical. With slower metabolism, increased risk of constipation, and greater vulnerability to blood sugar spikes, the fiber and nutrients in whole grains can provide essential protection. The problem: brown rice is hard to chew. Many older adults have legitimate concerns: tooth sensitivity or dentures, dry mouth, a common side effect of medications, difficulty swallowing, fear of choking. These issues make brown rice feel like more trouble than it's worth. But giving up entirely may not be the best answer, because the risks of refined carbs increase with age. What happens when you stick with white rice long-term? Eating white rice regularly without balancing it with protein and fiber may lead to blood sugar spikes. White rice has a high glycemic index, up to 89, which causes fast sugar absorption. Repeated spikes can exhaust your pancreas and lead to type 2 diabetes or worsen existing diabetes. Fatigue and mood swings. After a high-carb meal, blood sugar crashes can cause tiredness, dizziness, or even irritability. Muscle weakness. White rice lacks essential B vitamins and magnesium, both needed for muscle and nerve function. Digestive problems. Without fiber, constipation becomes more common, a problem already affecting many seniors. Weakened bones. Brown rice contains phosphorus and magnesium, which support bone health. A white rice-only diet may lack these. What makes brown rice chewy? The fiber in brown rice gives it a firmer texture. Unlike white rice, it absorbs water slowly and takes longer to cook. The grain's bran layer provides structure and nutrition but also makes it tougher. Luckily, there are ways to soften it significantly without losing its benefits. How to make brown rice softer and easier to eat. 1. Soak before cooking. Soaking brown rice for 4 to 8 hours in water softens the bran and reduces cooking time. It also makes it easier to digest. 2. Use more water. The ideal ratio is 1 cup brown rice to 2.5 to 3 cups of water. Cooking it longer on low heat helps break down the fiber. 3. Use a rice cooker or pressure cooker. These tools provide even heat and help achieve a soft, sticky texture that's gentle on the teeth. 4. Try brown rice porridge. Cook brown rice with extra water or broth to make a soft, spoonable porridge. Add pumpkin, tofu, or soft egg for a nutritious meal. 5. Mix it with white rice. Start by replacing just 25% of white rice with brown rice. Gradually increase the ratio over weeks as your taste and texture preferences adjust. What if brown rice still feels too hard? Try these alternatives. Whole grains come in many forms. If brown rice remains too challenging, consider soft-cooked barley, chewy but smoother than brown rice. Millet, small, tender, and easily mashable. Quinoa, fluffy, high in protein, and quick to cook. Steel-cut oats, great for breakfast or soft side dishes. Red or black rice, higher in antioxidants and softer than brown rice when soaked. All of these options deliver fiber, magnesium, and complex carbohydrates without the drawbacks of white rice. Sample meal ideas with soft whole grains. 1. Brown rice porridge with minced chicken and carrot. Soak half a cup brown rice overnight. Cook with 3 cups water or low-sodium broth. Add minced chicken, shredded carrot, and a dash of ginger. Simmer until soft and porridge-like. 2. Mixed rice bowl with tofu and spinach. Mix a 1/4 cup brown rice with 3/4 cup white rice. Add steamed tofu cubes and sautéed spinach. Drizzle with sesame oil and sprinkle with sesame seeds. 3. Quinoa stir-fry with egg and vegetables. Cook quinoa until fluffy. Stir-fry with egg, cabbage, and mushrooms. Add a splash of low-sodium soy sauce and garlic. These meals are all soft, flavorful, and senior-friendly, while still providing fiber, vitamins, and long-lasting energy. Why switching gradually works best. The biggest mistake is trying brown rice once, finding it too chewy, and never going back. Your taste buds and digestion can adapt, especially if you switch slowly. Week 1 to 2. Mix 25% brown rice into your regular rice. Week 3 to 4. Increase to 50%. Week 5 plus. Try 100% or alternate meals with brown and white rice. Over time, many people come to prefer the nuttier flavor and appreciate the energy and fullness it provides. Final thoughts. Seniors often avoid brown rice because it feels hard to chew or unfamiliar. But making that decision without considering the long-term consequences may leave your body underfed and vulnerable. The truth is, brown rice supports better aging. It protects against diabetes, improves digestion, supports muscle and nerve health, and keeps you fuller longer. And with a few smart cooking tricks, it can be made soft, comforting, and easy to enjoy. You don't have to eat brown rice every day, but including it regularly, even in small amounts, is a powerful way to support your health in your golden years. A little more fiber today could mean a lot more freedom tomorrow. I don't eat sugar, just rice. For many seniors, this statement feels like a badge of honor. After all, rice isn't sweet. It doesn't have sugar listed on the nutrition label. So it must be safe for diabetics, right? Not exactly. In this article, we'll unpack the critical misunderstanding behind this common belief. You'll learn why white rice can behave like sugar inside the body, how it impacts blood glucose and insulin levels, and what you can do to enjoy rice responsibly without risking your health. If you or a loved one is living with diabetes or trying to prevent it, understanding this misconception is essential for managing your condition safely and confidently. Why people believe rice is safe for diabetics. The reasoning seems logical at first. Rice isn't sweet. It doesn't taste sugary. The nutrition label doesn't list sugar. It's traditional and part of many healthy diets. But these observations miss an important point. How your body processes rice, not just how it tastes. The science. Rice equals starch equals glucose. Here's what happens when you eat rice. Rice is primarily made of starch, a complex carbohydrate. Once you chew and swallow, enzymes in your saliva and digestive system break starch into glucose, the same form of sugar found in candy. This glucose enters your bloodstream, raising your blood sugar levels. So even though rice doesn't taste sweet, the effect on your body can be just as dramatic as eating sugar itself, especially if you're eating white rice. White rice and the glycemic index. The glycemic index, GI, measures how fast a carbohydrate-rich food raises blood sugar. The higher the number, the faster it spikes glucose levels. White rice GI, 72 to 89, high. Table sugar GI, 63, moderate. Brown rice GI, 50 to 60, moderate. Surprised? White rice often has a higher GI than sugar. For seniors, whose insulin sensitivity often declines with age, this means that a bowl of white rice can cause rapid glucose spikes, greater insulin demand, energy crashes, and over time, insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. The hidden danger, repetition and quantity. While one serving of rice may not cause major problems, the real issue is daily repetition. Many older adults eat white rice at every meal, in large quantities, with minimal fiber or protein, often alone or with high-sodium condiments. This creates a dangerous pattern of glucose overload, day after day, year after year. Eventually, the body struggles to keep up, leading to elevated fasting glucose. Hemoglobin A1C increases, prediabetes or full-blown diabetes diagnosis. What the research says. A meta-analysis published in the British Medical Journal, 2012, found that people who consumed large amounts of white rice had a 17% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes, and that risk rose with each additional serving per day. In populations where white rice is eaten as a staple, such as Asia, the risk was even more pronounced. The danger isn't rice alone, it's how it's consumed, how often, and with what. Rice may not contain sugar, but it acts like it. Let's compare. 1 can of soda, 330 milliliters, equals 35 g of sugar. 1 bowl of cooked white rice, 1 cup, equals 45 g of carbohydrates, which your body converts almost entirely into glucose. So when you say, I don't eat sugar, but have a big bowl of rice, your body may not know the difference. What this means for seniors with diabetes. Uncontrolled blood sugar in older adults leads to fatigue and brain fog, slow wound healing, increased risk of infections, vision problems, nerve damage, neuropathy, kidney strain and failure, increased risk of stroke or heart attack. The consequences are serious but also preventable with the right food choices. How to make rice safer for diabetics. You don't have to give up rice entirely, but you do need to change how you prepare and combine it. White heavy check mark 1. Watch your portion size. Limit to ½ cup to 3/4 cup cooked rice per meal. Use a small bowl to visually guide serving size. White heavy check mark 2. Add protein. Combine with egg, tofu, chicken, beans, or fish. Protein slows down glucose absorption. White heavy check mark 3. Increase fiber. Add steamed greens, mushrooms, or pumpkin. Mix in chickpeas or lentils for a balanced texture. White heavy check mark 4. Choose whole grains. Switch to brown rice, red rice, or black rice. Mix half white, half brown if you're transitioning. White heavy check mark 5. Eat mindfully. Chew slowly. Avoid watching TV while eating. Focus on fullness, not finishing. Smart substitutions for diabetic-friendly meals. Instead of, try this. Large bowl of white rice, small bowl of brown rice with vegetables. Rice with soy sauce, rice with stir-fried tofu and broccoli. Rice 3 times a day, rice once daily, oats or quinoa at other meals. Plain congee with minced chicken and pumpkin. Each substitution lowers the glycemic load of your meal and improves your blood sugar response. Using technology to stay informed. If you're not sure how rice affects your body, consider using a glucometer to test blood sugar before and after meals, keeping a food diary to note energy, mood, and glucose levels, consulting with a dietitian who specializes in diabetes in older adults. Sometimes the numbers tell a different story than your taste buds. The emotional side of giving up rice. Food is more than fuel. It's memory, comfort, and culture. For many seniors, rice isn't just a staple. It's a symbol of identity and tradition. The goal isn't to eliminate rice, it's to enjoy it in a modern, health-conscious way. Even small changes, like mixing with lentils or cutting portions, can lead to big improvements over time. Final thoughts. The phrase rice doesn't contain sugar is technically true, but deeply misleading. In the body, rice behaves like sugar, especially white rice eaten alone in large amounts. For seniors with diabetes, this misunderstanding can delay treatment and worsen complications. The good news? You don't have to give up rice. By choosing better grains, combining foods wisely, and eating in moderation, you can enjoy your favorite meals without putting your health at risk. Small changes lead to long-term control. Your plate has the power to heal or to harm. Make it count. I don't eat sugar, just rice. For many seniors, this statement feels like a badge of honor. After all, rice isn't sweet. It doesn't have sugar listed on the nutrition label. So it must be safe for diabetics, right? Not exactly. In this article, we'll unpack the critical misunderstanding behind this common belief. You'll learn why white rice can behave like sugar inside the body, how it impacts blood glucose and insulin levels, and what you can do to enjoy rice responsibly without risking your health. If you or a loved one is living with diabetes or trying to prevent it, understanding this misconception is essential for managing your condition safely and confidently. Why people believe rice is safe for diabetics. The reasoning seems logical at first. Rice isn't sweet. It doesn't taste sugary. The nutrition label doesn't list sugar. It's traditional and part of many healthy diets. But these observations miss an important point. How your body processes rice, not just how it tastes. The science. Rice equals starch equals glucose. Here's what happens when you eat rice. Rice is primarily made of starch, a complex carbohydrate. Once you chew and swallow, enzymes in your saliva and digestive system break starch into glucose, the same form of sugar found in candy. This glucose enters your bloodstream, raising your blood sugar levels. So even though rice doesn't taste sweet, the effect on your body can be just as dramatic as eating sugar itself, especially if you're eating white rice. White rice and the glycemic index. The glycemic index, GI, measures how fast a carbohydrate-rich food raises blood sugar. The higher the number, the faster it spikes glucose levels. White rice GI, 72 to 89, high. Table sugar GI, 63, moderate. Brown rice GI, 50 to 60, moderate. Surprised? White rice often has a higher GI than sugar. For seniors, whose insulin sensitivity often declines with age, this means that a bowl of white rice can cause rapid glucose spikes, greater insulin demand, energy crashes, and over time, insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. The hidden danger, repetition and quantity. While one serving of rice may not cause major problems, the real issue is daily repetition. Many older adults eat white rice at every meal, in large quantities, with minimal fiber or protein, often alone or with high-sodium condiments. This creates a dangerous pattern of glucose overload, day after day, year after year. Eventually, the body struggles to keep up, leading to elevated fasting glucose. Hemoglobin A1C increases, prediabetes or full-blown diabetes diagnosis. What the research says. A meta-analysis published in the British Medical Journal, 2012, found that people who consumed large amounts of white rice had a 17% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes, and that risk rose with each additional serving per day. In populations where white rice is eaten as a staple, such as Asia, the risk was even more pronounced. The danger isn't rice alone, it's how it's consumed, how often, and with what. Rice may not contain sugar, but it acts like it. Let's compare. 1 can of soda, 330 milliliters, equals 35 g of sugar. 1 bowl of cooked white rice, 1 cup, equals 45 g of carbohydrates, which your body converts almost entirely into glucose. So when you say, I don't eat sugar, but have a big bowl of rice, your body may not know the difference. What this means for seniors with diabetes. Uncontrolled blood sugar in older adults leads to fatigue and brain fog, slow wound healing, increased risk of infections, vision problems, nerve damage, neuropathy, kidney strain and failure, increased risk of stroke or heart attack. The consequences are serious but also preventable with the right food choices. How to make rice safer for diabetics. You don't have to give up rice entirely, but you do need to change how you prepare and combine it. White heavy check mark 1. Watch your portion size. Limit to half a cup to 3/4 cup cooked rice per meal. Use a small bowl to visually guide serving size. White heavy check mark 2. Add protein. Combine with egg, tofu, chicken, beans or fish. Protein slows down glucose absorption. White heavy check mark 3. Increase fiber. Add steamed greens, mushrooms or pumpkin. Mix in chickpeas or lentils for a balanced texture. White heavy check mark 4. Choose whole grains. Switch to brown rice, red rice or black rice. Mix half white, half brown if you're transitioning. White heavy check mark 5. Eat mindfully. Chew slowly. Avoid watching TV while eating. Focus on fullness, not finishing. Smart substitutions for diabetic-friendly meals. Instead of, try this. Large bowl of white rice, small bowl of brown rice with vegetables. Rice with soy sauce, rice with stir-fried tofu and broccoli. Rice 3 times a day, rice once daily, oats or quinoa at other meals. Plain congee with minced chicken and pumpkin. Each substitution lowers the glycemic load of your meal and improves your blood sugar response. Using technology to stay informed. If you're not sure how rice affects your body, consider using a glucometer to test blood sugar before and after meals. Keeping a food diary to note energy, mood, and glucose levels. Consulting with a dietitian who specializes in diabetes in older adults. Sometimes the numbers tell a different story than your taste buds. The emotional side of giving up rice. Food is more than fuel. It's memory, comfort, and culture. For many seniors, rice isn't just a staple. It's a symbol of identity and tradition. The goal isn't to eliminate rice. It's to enjoy it in a modern, health-conscious way. Even small changes, like mixing with lentils or cutting portions, can lead to big improvements over time. Final thoughts. The phrase rice doesn't contain sugar is technically true, but deeply misleading. In the body, rice behaves like sugar, especially white rice eaten alone in large amounts. For seniors with diabetes, this misunderstanding can delay treatment and worsen complications. The good news? You don't have to give up rice. By choosing better grains, combining foods wisely, and eating in moderation, you can enjoy your favorite meals without putting your health at risk. Small changes lead to long-term control. Your plate has the power to heal or to harm. Make it count. In every culture, food is tied to memory, family, and tradition. And few foods are as central to tradition as rice. For many seniors, rice isn't just a meal, it's a legacy. It brings comfort, connects you to the past. It was on your table growing up. Your parents and grandparents ate rice every day and lived well into old age. So it's easy to think, they lived long and healthy lives eating rice, so I'll be fine too. But while tradition deserves respect, the world has changed, and so has our health. In this article, we'll look at why this deeply held belief, though rooted in family history, can be misleading in modern times, especially when it comes to diabetes, weight gain, and chronic disease in seniors. The roots of the belief. Older generations often lived into their 80s and 90s while eating white rice 3 times a day, simple home-cooked meals, very little meat or sugar, seasonal vegetables from their own gardens. So when doctors today warn about rice and diabetes, many seniors feel skeptical. They recall grandparents working hard in the fields, walking daily, and staying active well into old age. all on a rice-based diet. But here's the truth. It wasn't just the rice. It was everything else. What's changed since then? Modern life looks very different from the past, especially in 5 key ways. 1. Physical activity has dropped drastically. Your grandparents walked several kilometers daily, did manual labor or farming, had minimal time sitting. You, on the other hand, may sit for most of the day, use vehicles instead of walking, have limited physical activity due to joint pain or health issues. Why it matters? Active muscles burn glucose. When you're inactive, glucose from rice builds up in your blood instead of being used for energy. 2. Portion sizes have increased. In the past, rice was served in small bowls, not large plates, as a base, not the bulk of the meal, alongside vegetables and broth. Today, rice is often eaten in larger portions, consumed multiple times per day, paired with processed foods or sauces. More rice equals more carbs equals greater blood sugar spikes. 3. The type of rice has changed. Traditionally, rice was often semi-polished with more fiber. It was stored and cooked fresh. Sticky or glutinous varieties were rare. Now, most rice is highly refined white rice, processed for longer shelf life, polished until nearly all fiber is gone. This means it digests faster, raising blood sugar faster than older rice varieties. 4. Diet variety has decreased. Your parents may have eaten rice with seasonal greens, legumes, and fermented foods. Very little sugar or processed food. High fiber snacks, sweet potatoes, peanuts, fruits. Today's diet is often heavily rice-based, paired with sugary drinks, pickled or fried foods. Low in vegetables or protein. A diet that's rice-heavy and nutrient-poor leads to nutrient deficiencies, blood sugar imbalance, weak muscles, and poor immunity. 5. Chronic diseases have become more common. Decades ago, heart disease, diabetes, and obesity were rare in older adults. Now they are among the leading causes of death, heavily influenced by diet and lifestyle, more prevalent due to processed foods, sedentary living, and overeating. So while rice may have been part of a healthy lifestyle before, it may no longer be healthy in isolation, especially in a modern, low-activity life. The sentimental trap. If it worked for them, it will work for me. It's comforting to believe that tradition equals safety, and food is emotional. But your health is not just built on what your parents ate, it's built on what your body needs today. Here's a truth many seniors find helpful. Your parents didn't live long because they ate rice. They lived long because they moved more, ate less sugar, and led simpler, active lives. When you remove the physical activity and variety but keep the white rice, you change the outcome. How to honor tradition while staying healthy. You don't need to abandon rice to protect your health. You simply need to adapt the way your parents did when they aged. Here are a few steps. White heavy check mark 1. Eat rice once a day, not every meal. Use oats, quinoa, millet, or sweet potatoes in other meals to reduce total starch intake. White heavy check mark 2. Choose whole grain or mixed grain rice. Brown rice, red rice, black rice, or rice mixed with mung beans or lentils help. Slow digestion. Improve nutrient intake. Reduce sugar spikes. White heavy check mark 3. Keep rice portions small. Use a traditional rice bowl, not a large plate. Limit to 1/2 to 3/4 cup cooked rice per meal. White heavy check mark 4. Balance every rice meal. Add protein, egg, tofu, fish, beans, vegetables, greens, squash, mushrooms, healthy fats, olive oil, sesame seeds, nuts. White heavy check mark 5. Stay active after eating. Even gentle walks around the home after meals can help lower blood sugar and mimic the activity of older generations. Sample balanced traditional-inspired meal. Modernized traditional lunch. 1/2 cup brown rice. Stir-fried bok choy with garlic. Grilled tofu or soft egg. Miso soup with seaweed and mushrooms. Warm herbal tea or water with lemon. This plate keeps the heart of tradition but makes it smarter for today's body. Final thoughts. Respecting your roots is beautiful. But don't let nostalgia cloud your understanding of what your body needs now. Yes, your parents lived long lives eating rice, but they also walked, worked, and lived differently. If you want to live long and well, the answer isn't more rice. It's modern wisdom applied with traditional care. Hold on to the memories. Let go of the myths. And choose every bite in the present with gratitude and intention. Feeling tired, recovering from illness, or just not having an appetite? For many seniors, the answer is simple and soothing. Rice porridge, also known as congee, chow, or okayu, depending on your culture. It's warm, easy to swallow, and gentle on the stomach. For generations, rice porridge has been the go-to comfort food for weakness, fever, or digestive issues. You might think, it's light, it's healthy, it's the only thing I can eat right now. But there's a problem. While porridge may feel nourishing, it's often stripped of protein, fiber, and nutrients. Worse yet, it may cause rapid blood sugar spikes, particularly in older adults who are already at risk for type 2 diabetes, muscle loss, or fatigue. In this article, we'll explore why rice porridge, though soft and comforting, needs to be approached with caution. We'll explain how to make it more balanced, more complete, and more suitable for senior health. Why seniors love porridge, and rightfully so. Let's begin with the positives. Rice porridge has several appealing qualities. It's easy to digest for people with poor appetite, illness, or dental problems. It's hydrating, containing a high water content. It's warm and comforting during periods of stress, recovery, or cold weather. Can be flavored simply, ideal for sensitive taste buds or nausea. So yes, porridge is a good starting point when you're weak or unwell. The problem comes when it's the only thing you eat, and when it's plain, overcooked white rice with nothing else. The blood sugar spike you didn't see coming. Porridge may seem gentle, but it's faster to digest than plain rice. Why? When rice is boiled into a watery porridge, the grains break down completely, losing their natural structure. This means your body absorbs the starch almost instantly, causing a sharp rise in blood glucose. Let's compare. Food glycemic index, GI. Steamed white rice 72/89. White rice porridge 90+. Sugar-sweetened soft drink 63. Brown rice porridge 66/70. That's right, porridge can raise blood sugar faster than a sugary drink. For seniors who already have prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, low muscle mass, insulin resistance, this means porridge, though soft and easy, might quietly worsen the very fatigue and weakness it's meant to soothe. What happens when you rely only on porridge? Seniors often rely on plain rice porridge for days or weeks, especially after illness, surgery, or during appetite loss. Here's what happens if porridge is eaten alone, without add-ins. You spike your blood sugar, leading to fatigue, brain fog, and sugar crashes. You get full without nutrients. A big bowl of porridge fills your stomach but provides almost no protein or healthy fat. You lose muscle mass. Especially dangerous if you're recovering from illness or already have sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. You increase inflammation. High GI foods worsen chronic inflammation, which is linked to heart disease, cognitive decline, and joint problems. You feel hungry again quickly, leading to overeating later in the day or snacking on unhealthy foods. But I'm weak. Isn't porridge still better than nothing? Absolutely. If your stomach is upset or you're recovering from surgery, a small bowl of porridge is a good starting point. But it should be just that, a start, not the whole meal. The key is to build on the porridge by adding ingredients that make it richer in nutrients, more balanced, better for blood sugar. How to make rice porridge more nutritious for seniors. Let's upgrade your bowl of congee with simple, easy-to-digest add-ins that transform it into a complete meal. White heavy check mark 1. Add protein. Why it matters. Protein slows down sugar absorption and helps rebuild tissue and muscle. Add 1 boiled or poached egg, shredded chicken, fish, or minced pork, soft tofu, or a spoonful of mashed beans. Even a small amount helps balance your blood sugar and improve satiety. White heavy check mark 2. Include vegetables. Why it matters. Fiber slows digestion and adds vitamins. Add mashed pumpkin, cooked spinach, cabbage, or mushrooms, a few slices of carrot or green peas. You can blend or mash these into the porridge for easier chewing. White heavy checkmark 3. Use whole grain or mixed grains. Why it matters. Brown rice, red rice, and millet have more fiber and nutrients. Try half white rice plus half brown rice. Add a spoonful of quinoa, mung beans, or barley. They'll soften as they cook and become part of the porridge texture. White heavy checkmark 4. Add healthy fats. Why it matters. Fats help absorb vitamins and support brain function. Try a drizzle of sesame oil. A few slices of avocado on the side. Crushed peanuts or pumpkin seeds if chewing is not an issue. White heavy checkmark 5. Limit seasonings like soy sauce or pickled toppings. These are often high in sodium and can cause water retention or blood pressure spikes. Instead, use a pinch of sea salt or low-sodium broth. Natural flavors like ginger, garlic, or green onions. Sample recipe. Balanced congee for seniors. Pumpkin chicken porridge, serves 1 to 2. Ingredients. Half a cup soaked brown rice or mixed rice. 2 cups water or unsalted chicken broth. A quarter cup cooked shredded chicken. Half a cup mashed pumpkin or carrot. 1 egg, optional. A drizzle of sesame oil and pinch of ginger. Instructions. Cook the rice in water until it breaks down into porridge consistency. Add mashed pumpkin and stir until smooth. Add chicken and simmer until heated through. Crack in the egg. Stir gently. Top with a few drops of sesame oil and a sprinkle of green onions. This version of porridge includes protein for muscles, fiber for digestion, carbs for gentle energy, healthy fat for vitamin absorption. It's still soft, warm, and comforting, just much better for your body. How often can I eat porridge? You can enjoy porridge a few times a week, especially if you're ill, your appetite is low. You prepare it with added nutrients. Avoid eating plain white rice porridge multiple times a day without any additions. Long-term use without balance can cause nutrient deficiencies, fatigue, and unstable blood sugar. Final thoughts. Rice porridge is not the enemy. In fact, it can be a healing food when prepared mindfully. But when eaten plain, in large amounts and over long periods, it becomes a hidden danger, especially for older adults trying to maintain strength and control blood sugar. Instead of giving it up entirely, transform your porridge into a gentle powerhouse of protein, fiber, and comfort. With a few thoughtful changes, your favorite food can go from just soft to truly strengthening. Replacing meals with rice helps me lose weight, a risky diet mistake that may backfire for seniors. Many older adults, concerned about weight gain or managing diabetes, often say, "I'm eating light. I just have a bowl of rice for lunch or dinner." On the surface, this sounds like a smart, low-calorie decision. Rice is simple, light, and fills you up quickly. If you skip heavier foods like meat or oil and just eat rice, surely that will help you lose weight, right? Unfortunately, the opposite often happens. In this article, we'll explain why replacing full meals with plain rice is not an effective or healthy way to lose weight, especially for seniors. You'll learn how this habit can actually lead to muscle loss, blood sugar crashes, increased fat storage, and lower energy, and how to approach weight management in a way that protects your long-term health. Why this belief is common. The idea makes intuitive sense. Many seniors were raised with the message that rice is light. Meat and fat make you gain weight. Eating less means losing weight. Skipping meals saves calories. And so, when trying to lose a few pounds or manage blood sugar, they turn to a bowl of plain rice as a meal replacement. But what they don't realize is that not all calories are equal, and not all weight loss is healthy. What happens when you only eat rice at meals? Rice is mostly carbohydrate. 1 cup of cooked white rice contains 45 g of carbohydrates, 0.4 g of fat, only 4 g of protein, very little fiber, vitamins, or minerals. Here's what happens if your lunch or dinner is just rice. White heavy check mark, you feel full quickly. Rice swells in the stomach and gives the feeling of fullness. Cross mark, but it digests quickly. That full feeling fades in 1 to 2 hours as your body burns through the carbs. Crossmark blood sugar spikes and crashes. Without protein or fiber, glucose from rice enters your bloodstream fast, causing a surge followed by a crash. Crossmark, you lose muscle, not fat. Without enough protein, your body breaks down muscle tissue for fuel. This slows metabolism and leads to frailty. Crossmark, you feel tired, dizzy, or moody. Blood sugar fluctuations affect your energy, mood, and appetite control. Crossmark, you regain weight quickly. Muscle loss and sugar crashes trigger fat storage, especially around the belly. Why this is especially risky for seniors. As we age, the body changes. Muscle mass declines naturally, sarcopenia. Insulin sensitivity decreases. Metabolism slows. Appetite becomes unpredictable. Losing weight by skipping nutrients, especially protein and healthy fats, can lead to weakness and fatigue, increased fall risk, poor balance and coordination, compromised immunity, worsening chronic conditions like diabetes and high blood pressure. So while the scale may show a few pounds lost, much of that could be muscle and water, not fat. Signs your rice-only diet is backfiring. If you're replacing full meals with rice and notice any of the following, it may be harming more than helping. You feel exhausted or dizzy between meals. You're losing weight but feel weaker. You have cravings or overeating later in the day. Your blood sugar is unstable despite eating less. You feel cold, depressed, or foggy-headed. These are signs your body is missing critical nutrients and burning muscle instead of fat. The role of protein in healthy weight loss. Protein is essential for building and maintaining muscle, supporting metabolism, preventing blood sugar spikes, improving satiety, feeling full longer. Without enough protein, your body can't repair tissues, your muscles shrink, and your metabolism slows, making weight regain more likely. Especially for seniors, protein is the most important nutrient in any weight loss plan. The importance of balanced meals. A healthy weight loss meal isn't about eating less. It's about eating smarter. A complete meal includes complex carbs, brown rice, sweet potatoes, oats, lean protein, egg, tofu, chicken, fish, beans, healthy fats, avocado, nuts, olive oil, fiber-rich vegetables, leafy greens, pumpkin, broccoli. Together, these components provide sustained energy, prevent blood sugar crashes, preserve lean muscle, support digestion and heart health. What to eat instead of just rice. Crossmark instead of 1 cup white rice with soy sauce or pickles. White heavy check mark, try half a cup brown rice, 1 boiled egg or half a cup tofu, 1 cup sautéed greens or steamed carrots, a drizzle of sesame oil or olive oil, herbal tea or warm water. This meal is lower in carbs, higher in protein and fiber, more filling, better for metabolism and blood sugar. What about cutting calories? Doesn't that matter? Yes, calories do matter, but where the calories come from matters more. A 400-calorie meal of white rice alone raises blood sugar, fades quickly, and offers no nutrients. A 400-calorie meal of brown rice plus tofu plus vegetables supports blood sugar, provides fiber and protein, and satisfies for hours. Quality over quantity is the secret, especially in older adults. How to approach healthy weight loss as a senior. Here's a safe, effective plan. Never skip meals, especially breakfast or lunch. Eat 3 balanced meals a day with protein, fiber, and healthy fat. Drink enough water. Dehydration slows metabolism. Include gentle physical activity like walking, tai chi, or chair exercises. Avoid ultra-processed snacks, crackers, cookies, sugary drinks. Track your progress by energy, strength, and clothes, not just the scale. Remember, losing 2 to 4 pounds per month is safe. Rapid weight loss in seniors often means muscle loss, not fat loss. Final thoughts. Replacing full meals with plain rice might feel like a simple way to lose weight, but it's a shortcut that leads down the wrong road. For seniors, this habit often results in weakness, poor blood sugar control, muscle loss, and in the end, weight gain again. True, Lasting weight management comes from balanced nutrition, mindful eating, and protecting your muscle strength as you age. You don't need to fear food. You just need to respect your body's needs and feed it in a way that supports energy, health, and dignity. You're not just eating to get lighter. You're eating to stay strong, sharp, and independent. I always eat a big bowl of rice at dinner. It helps me sleep. Why heavy evening rice meals may disrupt your health more than you think. After a long day, there's nothing more comforting than a warm, full bowl of rice. For many seniors, especially in Asian cultures, dinner is the main meal and rice is the heart of it. You may think, a big bowl of rice helps me feel full and relaxed. I sleep better on a full stomach. But is this nighttime habit really helping your body or silently harming it? In this article, we'll explore how large rice-heavy dinners affect blood sugar, sleep quality, weight gain, and metabolism in seniors. We'll also offer practical tips for creating a more balanced, lighter evening meal that supports restful sleep without burdening your heart or blood sugar. Why this habit feels right. Eating a large portion of rice at dinner makes you feel satisfied and emotionally comforted. Drowsy due to the carb load. Relaxed and ready for bed. Safe from midnight hunger. These sensations make it easy to believe that a big rice dinner is helpful. But what your body feels in the moment is not always a sign of long-term health. What really happens in your body after a heavy rice dinner? Rice is rich in simple carbohydrates, especially white rice. One large bowl, about 1.5 to 2 cups cooked, may contain 60 to 90 grams of carbs, very little protein or fat, minimal fiber. Here's how your body reacts when you eat this at night. 1. Blood sugar spikes. High-carb meals cause a sharp rise in glucose, followed by a potential crash during sleep, which can wake you up at night, cause restlessness or vivid dreams, leave you feeling tired in the morning. 2. Fat storage increases. At night, your body's metabolism slows. Excess glucose is more likely to be converted into fat, stored in the abdomen, liver, or muscles. This contributes to belly fat, fatty liver, insulin resistance. 3. Poor sleep quality. High-carb meals can disrupt melatonin production, the hormone that regulates sleep. Deep sleep cycles making rest feel shallow. You might fall asleep easily, but wake up multiple times or not feel refreshed. 4. Digestive strain. Eating large portions late can lead to indigestion, acid reflux or bloating, discomfort when lying down after eating. This is especially true for seniors with slower digestion or those taking certain medications. The link between late-night eating and diabetes. Studies have shown that late dinners, after 7 p.m., are associated with higher blood sugar levels. Eating larger meals at night increases the risk of type 2 diabetes. Nighttime glucose spikes are harder to manage, especially if the person is sedentary in the evening. For seniors already managing diabetes, eating a big bowl of rice for dinner can cause high fasting glucose levels the next morning. Poor sleep recovery. Greater fatigue during the day. Why seniors are especially vulnerable. As we age, our body's ability to burn glucose, manage insulin, digest large meals, declines. At the same time, many seniors move less after dinner, lie down soon after eating, are more sensitive to sleep disruption. This combination makes large rice dinners particularly risky. How to know if your dinner habit is hurting you. If you frequently wake up at night sweating or needing to urinate, feel bloated or heavy when lying down, have high blood sugar in the morning, feel sleepy after dinner, then restless at bedtime, gain weight around the middle, your big rice bowl might be the culprit. A better way to structure evening meals. The solution isn't to stop eating rice altogether. It's to adjust your portion, change the timing, balance the nutrients. White heavy check mark 1. Eat your largest meal at lunch. Your metabolism is more active during the day. A large, balanced lunch provides energy for activity, better digestion, less need to catch up on calories at night. White heavy check mark 2. Keep dinner light but balanced. An ideal dinner includes half a cup of brown or mixed rice, a lean protein like tofu, egg or fish, steamed or sautéed vegetables, a small portion of healthy fat like sesame oil or avocado. This meal is easier to digest, less likely to spike blood sugar, more supportive of good sleep. White heavy checkmark 3. Finish dinner at least 2 to 3 hours before bed. This gives your body time to digest food, stabilize blood sugar, prepare naturally for sleep. White heavy checkmark 4. Limit sauces and sodium. Soy sauce, pickles, and heavy seasonings at night can increase thirst and urination, disrupt sleep, raise blood pressure. Sample light dinner for seniors. Example: soothing bedtime meal. Half a cup soft-cooked brown rice or quinoa. 1 poached egg or half a cup silken tofu. Steamed spinach with a few drops of sesame oil. Warm chamomile or barley tea. This meal is gentle, balanced, promotes sleep without burdening the digestive system. Still hungry after dinner? Try these light snacks. If you're used to a heavier dinner and feel hungry later, 1 small banana or slice of apple with peanut butter, a hard-boiled egg, a few almonds and warm milk, half a small sweet potato. Avoid high-carb, high-sugar snacks at night. They keep blood sugar elevated and delay restful sleep. What about tradition? In many cultures, dinner is the time for family and sharing. And yes, there's value in tradition, but health needs change with age. Just because you ate a full bowl of rice every night when you were 30 doesn't mean your 70-year-old body can handle the same without consequences. Adjusting dinner portions and meal balance is not a sign of weakness. It's a smart adaptation for longevity. Final thoughts. Eating a big bowl of rice at dinner might feel comforting, but it can cause blood sugar spikes, poor sleep, fat storage, slower metabolism. For seniors who already face digestive and metabolic changes, this habit can quietly increase the risk of diabetes, insomnia, and weight gain. The good news is you don't have to give up rice, you just have to eat it more mindfully. A lighter, earlier, and more balanced dinner is one of the simplest and most powerful things you can do to protect your health as you age. Sleep better, age better, eat smarter even at night. I don't like whole grains. They taste bland. Why skipping whole grains could be costing you vital nutrients and stable blood sugar. Many seniors grew up eating white rice, white bread, and refined noodles, foods that are soft, mild, and easy on the palate. When told to switch to whole grains, the reaction is often honest and straightforward. I tried brown rice once. It was rough, chewy, and had no flavor. I just don't like it. It's a common feeling, and completely understandable. Taste and texture matter. But dismissing whole grains as bland can lead to missed health benefits, especially for older adults struggling with blood sugar control, constipation, muscle loss, and chronic inflammation. In this article, we'll unpack the real cost of avoiding whole grains, explain how your taste preferences can adapt over time, and offer practical tips for making whole grains delicious and enjoyable, even for those with sensitive digestion or teeth. What are whole grains and why are they important? A whole grain contains all 3 parts of the seed. Bran, the fiber-rich outer layer. Germ, the nutrient-rich core. Endosperm, the starchy part. In contrast, refined grains like white rice or white bread strip away the bran and germ, leaving just the starchy core. Whole grains retain fiber for digestion and blood sugar balance. B vitamins for energy and nerve health. Iron, zinc, and magnesium for immunity, muscles, and bones. Antioxidants and healthy fats. For seniors, these nutrients are crucial, especially as appetite decreases and nutrient absorption slows with age. Why refined grains feel better at first. White rice and white bread are softer, faster to cook, mild in flavor, easier to chew and swallow. That's why many seniors prefer them. But this comfort comes with a cost. High glycemic index, GI, quick sugar spikes. Low satiety, hunger returns quickly. Minimal fiber worsens constipation. Low nutrition weakens immunity and muscles. So while refined grains may be easier to eat, they often leave your body undernourished, especially if eaten daily. Why taste isn't fixed, it's trained. Here's something many don't realize. Your taste buds adapt. When you grow up eating white rice every day, it becomes your norm. Brown rice or barley feels odd. Not because they're bad, but because your mouth and brain aren't used to them. But with repeated exposure, your taste preferences can change. Studies show that when people eat more whole grains for just 2 to 4 weeks, they begin to prefer their nutty flavor, feel more satisfied, crave less sugar. Notice how refined carbs spike and crash their energy. It's not about forcing change overnight, it's about gentle, gradual adaptation. The hidden dangers of avoiding whole grains in older age. Skipping whole grains can increase your risk of cross-mark constipation. Lack of fiber slows digestion, leading to bloating and irregular bowel movements. Cross-mark type 2 diabetes. High GI refined grains spike blood sugar, increasing insulin resistance over time. Cross-mark fatty liver and abdominal fat. Refined carbs are quickly stored as fat, especially in the liver and belly. Cross-mark nutrient deficiency. Without bran and germ, refined grains lack B vitamins and magnesium, key for energy, sleep, and nerve health. Cross-mark muscle loss. Whole grains support protein synthesis and prevent the slow decline of lean body mass. How to start enjoying whole grains, even if you don't like them now. White heavy check mark 1. Start small, mix with white grains. Try 25% brown rice plus 75% white rice. Gradually shift to 50-50 over 2 to 4 weeks. Your palate adjusts with time. White heavy check mark 2. Cook them softer. Soak brown rice, barley, or millet overnight. Use a rice cooker or pressure cooker to achieve a tender texture. Try porridge-style preparations if chewing is an issue. White heavy check mark 3. Add natural flavor boosters. Whole grains absorb flavor well. Enhance with garlic, onions, or ginger. Low-sodium broth instead of water. Herbs like parsley, dill, or cilantro. A drizzle of olive or sesame oil. Avoid masking with too much salt or sauces. Use gentle seasoning to train the taste buds. White heavy check mark 4. Combine with familiar ingredients. Brown rice with tofu and soy sauce, chicken and carrots, eggs and green onions, quinoa or barley in soups, stir-fries, vegetable patties. Pairing new grains with familiar foods creates comfort. White heavy check mark 5. Try other soft whole grains. Not a fan of brown rice? Try oats, great for breakfast or savory congee. Millet, small, soft, and easy to chew. Red rice, softer and sweeter than brown. Buckwheat or quinoa, light and fluffy. Each has a unique flavor. Explore until you find what suits you best. Examples of whole grain-friendly meals for seniors. 1. Brown rice congee with pumpkin and egg. Soothing, soft, and sweet savory with natural richness. 2. Barley soup with mushrooms and tofu. Hearty, high in fiber, and excellent for digestion. 3. Oats with soft-boiled egg and sautéed spinach. A savory twist on a breakfast classic. 4. Quinoa salad with cooked carrots and chickpeas. Soft, protein-rich, and colorful, easy to prepare in advance. What if you have digestive or dental issues? If chewing is difficult, choose softer grains like oats, millet, or soft-cooked brown rice. Use blended soups or porridge-style meals. Soak or overcook grains to make them mushy. If digestion is sensitive, start with small portions. Eat with cooked vegetables to ease absorption. Avoid whole grains with added seeds or rough hulls. Whole grains don't have to be tough. They just need to be cooked right and introduced slowly. Final thoughts. Saying, "I don't like whole grains" may feel like a permanent decision, but it doesn't have to be. With a gentle shift in cooking methods and flavor pairings, many seniors find that their taste buds rediscover what whole grains have to offer. More importantly, these grains offer real, lasting benefits. Stable blood sugar, stronger digestion, more vitamins and minerals, better heart health, greater energy. Start with a spoonful. Mix it in. Make it soft. Make it flavorful. Let it become part of your routine, not as a punishment, but as a gift to your aging body. You don't have to love whole grains today, but in a few weeks your body and maybe even your tongue might thank you.